Good day, fams. Another episode of Live Life, Be Happy 24/7. It's me, the man of the hour, known to many as the legend. And, I like to start off with a big, huge virtual hug to all the fams around the world, for all your continued love and support. As I always say, this has been an incredible journey, and it would not have been possible if it wasn't for your continued support. So I just want to say thank you and much love on that. And continue following the many things that we're doing. Also, with a Slice of Canada radio series, that's doing very well. We're about being very transparent and giving everybody the voice and platform so they can have their voice and their journey to be heard around the world. Now, with that, I have a guest of the show, a very talented, actually multi-talented pop artist, singer-songwriter, and a Berklee College student, a good friend, Max Rae. Max, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm living the dream.
I love it. Yes.
Today we're doing the show by tropical South Florida, so you probably see a whole lot of images of posting all over social media. I'm loving this weather.
I love it. You're living your best life.
Exactly. Before we kind of jump into things, I just want to say congratulations on your upcoming EP. So, I'm really excited. I heard a little snippet of it. And I'm loving it so far. Loving
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's just a single out that'll be out on Friday,
it.
this upcoming Friday, which is really exciting. Thank you.
Well, welcome. I know your schedule has been extremely busy with your artistic career and school. So I just want to say again, thank you for coming on the show. But like I always say, before we kind of jump into the interview, I'm going to take my audience chair. And Max, I like you to kind of share your journey and your story on how everything kind of came full circle and brought us here today. And the reason why I say that, because there's other creatives around the world who always need some kind of motivation or a guide to kind of they can reference to incorporate into the things that they're doing. So I'm going to kind of sit here, kind of quietly, and you have the platform, my friend.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, I mean, I started at a very young age, around 15, 16 years old, and was in the studio in Nashville all the time and had a lot of co-writing sessions, learning how to write songs, learning how to be confident in front of a mic and on stage. And when I was in that place, of course, learning how to write songs and love songs, I was at first with strangers, and most of them are men producers. And I had a lot of good writing and a lot of good experiences through all of that. But I remember thinking to myself, where is the female that I could have had when I was that young, that's someone I could really take so much from and get inspired by and be that motivator. So when I got a promotional email from Berklee, I was like, I never thought that I could be a music producer. I was like, that is hard. There's a lot of idiosyncrasies and it's really complicated if you really want to be really good at it. And I was like, I don't think I could ever do it. But then I got really empowered by producers that are now my family out in Nashville. And I've been loving this journey ever since. And I've released about 15 singles that I've written or co-written with people and music videos with all of them. They're all like little mini movies, and gotten really confident in front of the camera because, practice makes perfect. And, when you get to a place where you're just doing it so much, you find your confidence, you find yourself, you found your voice. And there's a lot of times where I question myself. There's always self-doubt or if I'm good enough. And I think every artist goes through that. But you have to come to a place where this is who I am. And I love being a positive impact in this world and being a voice for people who can't have a voice. And even if I just touch one person, I have made it, in my opinion. And if I just help someone out one day and they're smiling instead of crying, I'm good. I'm happy. I'm complete.
Well, thank you for sharing, Max. And a fun fact about us that no one knows about us. You want to share with the world a little about us?
Oh, that you're my mentor? I love that. So I didn't even know that was a program with Berklee. And I was like, yes, I need all the help I can get. I think everyone can, right? So, I love that they paired me with you out of all people. It's just been a great experience with you. You've really encouraged me and kept me going. It's good.
Well, thank you. You've been very inspirational for me as well. Just seeing the many creative things that you're doing, your artistry inspires me. And I see what you're doing. You have an incredible, incredible journey ahead of you, and you will achieve some greatness. And
Thank you.
yeah, I see that. So I'm like, don't worry about it. I always say to you, just kind of absorb the experience and have fun with it. Like I always tell you, just have fun with this
Yeah,
stuff. Because if you're not having fun, guess what? Then there's no purpose. People can kind of hear it in your authenticity.
totally.
If you are, I guess to say, the real deal. you know.
Mhm. True.
And as we move on to my next question is, who were your musical influences growing up?
My biggest one, I was a dancer before I ever became a singer or wanted to be a producer. And Michael Jackson was a huge one for me, of course, dance wise, but also musically, huge one for me. And that's who inspired me to become a performer. And from there was Whitney Houston. Her voice, loved her sound, loved how authentic she was. She blew me away. I was like, I want to be like her. I want to sing that good. Come on now. And recently, and since for a while, Bruno Mars, I just love how he is flawless on stage. He's a dancer as well as a singer and puts on a great show and is super authentic to himself and writes some really good songs. So
Yeah, well, like I said, from all these individuals and artists that you mentioned, they've been great. I'm a big MJ fan. Also Whitney, love Bruno, for what they're doing, and everybody. What I've noticed out of all of them had a special magic.
mm-hmm,
Had a special
definitely.
magic that they were able to kind of connect with their audiences. And it was told to me that we are the masters of emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So when we sit down and write a song, we're not just writing a song, but we are immersing ourselves in this thing that we call artwork, art form.
Yeah.
And when you feel that buzz, you're like, you know what, this is a really good song. I've got this really amazing narrative. And I hear that in the stuff that you're doing because, I listen. I was like, okay, let me hear what the narrative is. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
liking it. I don't really care too much about the hook. I understand the hook, but I'm listening to, is the artist really conveying their intentions?
Yeah,
And you've done
definitely.
very well. Like I said, I heard little snippets of things. So I'm like, yeah, I like it. There was something that you posted up recently. I think it's on either. I think it's probably in your reels, and I was like, I like that. So I'm just kind of waiting for you to drop it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, yeah, nice work. Now, please tell our international audience what was the inspiration around this project.
Well, we're going to get nice and deep. I'm going to be very vulnerable. Here we go. And that's the songwriter in me, and I'm happy to do it. I haven't had a boyfriend my entire life until I turned 20, and I'm 22 now.
Mhm.
And he came along at a time where I'm a career woman. I love my career. I didn't want anything to stand in the way of that. I thought, a man coming into my life, they would just derail, or would they be even worth taking that time? And he came to my life at a random time and saved me. I was in a boat and it was literally like a rom-com. And I was like, well, he definitely deserves a date after saving me. And I was like, he could be my boyfriend. And I was sabotaging myself of a good thing. I kept giving myself excuses. Well, school, well, but what about living life? What about work? And I was like, well, what about work? And I hold myself up in my home studio in my hometown. I was around like family and friends, and I just was like, I don't know what to do about this dude. So I went to my home studio, just hold myself up, and I wrote this song with just a bass line that I came up with. And I was just like, I kind of love this. This is something special. It was very therapeutic. I was like, I should just let go of all of my fears and my worries, but I self-sabotage all the time. So the song is called Sabotage, and it's just something that I wanted people to relate to. I think we all kind of can sabotage ourselves out of a great thing sometimes, and don't be scared to jump in the deep end. It's been one of the biggest blessings of my life. We've been together for almost 2 years now, and he really elevates everything that I do, and he adds to my life. He doesn't actually subtract in any kind of way. So that's the whole premise of the project. I took it to Nashville to my favorite producer, and he helped me create it and make it even better than I ever thought the vision could be. And this is the first single where I have a feature, and his name's Derek Ryan out of Nashville. He is
Okay.
amazing. First time that I've ever had a feature on a single, so that's really fun too. And he put his own touch and spin on it on a verse, and I just can't wait for everyone to hear it.
Well, great. And that was the song that I heard actually on that little snippet on Instagram. And I was like, wow. And I listened to words and I said, you really hit the nail on this one. And I was just like, wow. That's a nice song. And I could tell that it was coming from a place of, I would say, a very special place. There are songs that people are just writing songs. Nah, I'm like, this is like a different type of song. Love it. It's going to be a hit. Much success with that. So kudos to you on that and a wonderful job. Now, you mentioned work-life balance.
Hmm.
As a music producer, singer-songwriter, I find that balancing a life around music and personal life to be quite interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so please share, how you navigate your career as an artist and a Berklee College student, because this will be extremely helpful for other creatives as a point of reference.
Yes. Well, you and I are on the same page with this notebook thing and keeping a schedule. Like I was right there with you. I go crazy and I color code. I know I have probably OCD tendencies, but perfectionist, and it's something I have to work on constantly. And when it comes to my work, I want to work, 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 work. I can be a workaholic. And my creative director, who is huge, he's the one who has done all my music videos, all my single covers. He was a game changer for me. I love that man. He
Right.
was like, you know what? Yes, you can work, and I love your work ethic, but how is your music, how is your art ever going to be good or have any kind of quality when you're not even living life and giving people an authentic experience through your music? I was like, you're so right. So when it comes to college, I'm right now doing full time, which is crazy. But so far, I'm not overwhelmed and overworking myself, which is great, but it just depends on the type of person you are and the way that you learn. I take about 3 full days to do school a week, Monday, Wednesday, and sometimes Friday. Those days could change depending on if I have meetings or a co-writing session or whatever, but 3 days out of my week are for school, and I can get everything done in those 3 days if I just focus in. And then I take at least 2 days to write and be creative. And the other two I take off and have fun with my friends, have time with my family, quality time, and just recharge from, the craziness of this industry. I mean, I have so much respect for people in this industry because it takes a really big person and confidence and a lot of grit and perseverance to get through all that we have to get through, you know?
Yes, I agree. You have to have a Teflon skin, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah,
Every day is a new experience. Just like when I was attending Berklee, it's a new experience. And I always say these are lessons. These are lessons that's going to help you along the way to be better. And that's
definitely.
all, just be better. Now,
Yeah.
with the global pandemic and all the uncertainties that we had in the past few years, how did you kind of navigate through that whole situation and just kept the creative flow going?
That was actually some of the best time for my creative flow ever because I couldn't leave the house. And since I was a sophomore in high school, have never been in one place for more than 2 weeks. I would be flying to Nashville, back to my hometown, be in Atlanta, everywhere. And then of course shutdowns happened. So it was like, oh, I thrived on TikTok because you're in the house and you're bored. I never scrolled through TikTok as much as I did. And I hopped on trends, and that sparked creativity in me with what was happening and what people were writing. And that was the moment when I thought, you know what, I have the time. Let me see if I can be a producer or just see if I can even make a track or make music. And I grew my TikTok more than I ever have in the past, and still to this day can't grow it as fast as I did then. But everyone was on their phones at that time, and
Yeah.
people weren't. But I really found my voice and my own little producer thumbprint through that time because I had time. So I just holed myself up for hours on end. And, I stayed with family, so I wasn't alone. And my mom would be like, you need to come out and breathe for a second. But I was just obsessed. It was the first time in my life. And I get inspiration from everywhere. I mean, before I had a boyfriend, most songs are about love, but I'd see my brother's relationship and be like, oh, she just said that. I need to write that down. That'd be a good song. I'm out in a coffee shop and they're doing something. I got that from Taylor Swift. She just has a running note in her
Mhm.
phone. I've had that for years, and I've never had enough time to really write to those
Mhm.
inspirations that I had. And so I just told myself up and went crazy. It was awesome.
Well, that's great, and I can totally connect with you on that because I think I did my best writing and producing with other creatives around the pandemic, and I was busy. Some people were like, "Oh, no, dude, I was busy."
Yeah.
there are plenty of things to do, not enough time, you know,
Exactly.
and that gave us creatives an opportunity to look within ourselves, you know,
Definitely.
within ourselves and kind of make the adjustments. And I'm very thankful, for those opportunities. And this is what helped me thrust forward in the things I'm doing today. And I see that in you, that, you're doing a lot of things. Even when we have our conversations, I always like to give you like little tips, little advice to kind of point you in a direction so you don't get overwhelmed. And I always say, take breaks,
Yeah.
it is. Take a
Yeah.
break, come back to it. You don't have to like just drive over it. Just come back to it and you'll be fresh again. And you'll be like, oh, guess what? I have another perspective to this. So, good stuff. My other question, I saw some of your videos and they're very not even good, but they're like great. So I was a little curious about your process, your creative process around them. Because I know you have a team that you work with. And just for the folks, who are, getting started, just kind of share with us your process with this whole video making process.
Yeah, I think, this is, if you don't get anything from this interview, any new indie artists, people who are starting out, beginning, this is going to be probably crazy for you and hopefully give you a little peace of mind. My team is 3 people, including me. It's me, my creative director, and he goes by Creature Things, and my mom, because she's my stylist. I actually had a lot of stylists and I fired all of them because they were making me not me. And I mean, who knows your body better than your mom? And my mom, she has a degree in it. So she helps me with all my looks. She does all that for me. And Keegan, that's his name, he does all my music videos, does all my single covers. It's the 3 of us, and we just make it happen. I have, of course, a choreographer who I love. His name's Zach, and he does my choreography when I can find him and when we can work together. It depends on the concept or treatment, but Keegan and I will get together and we'll listen to the song and be like, what do we see? Let's not even put a budget to it. Let's just, what is the vision? What do we have? And we'll come up with our own and come together. And like, this song sounds like it needs to be at the beach. Okay, well, let's figure this out. Let's see what we can do. And we take at least, it's usually just a couple hours depending on the shoot. Sometimes it could be a couple of days just to give us time, because it's literally just him. He's directing, he's filming, he's lighting, he's editing, he's doing everything. And it's just a team effort, but we kind of now are a very well-oiled machine, and we work so well together. His creativity is insane. A lot of this comes from his amazing brain and the looks that my mom, I mean, it's just, we all come together as the 3 of us and just make something great that hopefully people love. But we do not settle for mediocrity. We work, and we always try to do something new, because now I'm on, I think, my 15th music video, which is crazy. I
Wow.
never thought I would say that. And it's like, how do you keep it, you got to keep it interesting, got to keep it different. And every single one, I wanted to tell a story. Like, again, they're like mini movies, most of them. And I like to show off the dance side because that was a huge part of my life, and I really love dancing. And so there's a lot of songs that I literally will write because I'm like, I want to dance in this video. And it's been a good experience. We make it happen, we figure it out. And it's been stressful a lot of the time, of course, because there's only 3 of us, but the ingenuity and the creativity is just crazy.
Well, you know what? You guys are getting some really great results, and like I said, from what I see, it's trending to some great things. So, really, really great stuff. What's going on now? With that said, our international audience, we're a huge support of every guest who comes through the show. So we'd like to know, how can we find you? How can we support you? Tell us about upcoming projects, concerts, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I love that. Well, you can find me everywhere at Max Rae, Rae, not like a ray of sunshine. It's the girl spelling. Max Rae music on everything, or just even my name, you'll find me. And my newest single comes out this Friday, August 4th, that I'm really excited to share with you guys. And the music video will be coming out, I'm thinking, the week after, and that no one knows yet. And yeah, it's actually it. It's all Max Rae music.
Max Rae, as you hear it, everybody, so remember, when you find Max Rae, go ahead, like, share, and do all the stuff and follow, because Max is, like I said, rising star in the making. Also my student, so like I said, I got to give her a whole lot of love and the kudos on what she's doing. So we want to make sure that she's got the right backing and support. So I'm putting it out there in the universe so we can make this happen for Max. Now, as we come to the close, I'd like you to share a quote that will inspire listeners internationally who too look to navigating their life journey with an inspiration and hopes of achieving their dream like you're doing right now. So take a moment, kind of ponder on it, and when you're ready, just kind of deliver.
That is a big undertaking. One quote. Wow. I can talk a lot, so
That was fine.
Succinct here.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to be unapologetically yourself and authentic to who you are. And don't be afraid to put yourself out there, because what's the worst that could happen?
True. True. And well said, my friend. Well said. Well, like I said, we're gonna definitely, support and follow you. I'll definitely, reach out and have you come back because we want to see, we want to know, what you got going on and just be kind of curious on the great things that lies ahead for you on this journey. So I never say goodbye. I said until the next time we see each other again. And like I said, congratulations on this EP. I heard a little snippet. I was vibing with it. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be on the playlist.
I love it. Yeah, it takes a village. Jonathan Crone is the best producer I've ever had. He's done a lot of my singles, and it takes a village. My music videos, I have extras that are my family and friends, and just you make it happen. And I appreciate the little family that has really put themselves around me. I call all my fans so like my family, and I really appreciate them and support them. And they're like, the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I really appreciate all of the love and support that I'm given, and I appreciate you. Thank you for having me on.
Well, thank you.
It's been wonderful.
All right. So, Max, until again, you have a wonderful day. And like I said, don't forget to do your homework, right?
Yes, sir.